You know that moment when exams are around the corner, and no matter how much time you spend at your desk, nothing seems to stick? You try cramming, rereading notes, watching tutorials, maybe even staying up all night. And yet, your brain feels like a sponge with holes. You work hard, but the results just don't match the effort. I've been there. I used to spend 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours at my desk, flipping pages, highlighting notes, trying to memorize everything. And still, I forgot formulas, key points, even basic facts. It wasn't laziness. It was inefficient studying, and my brain wasn't retaining information the way it should. Here's the thing. You don't need endless hours to get straight A results. I discovered a method where just 2 focused hours a day gave me better results than those long, exhausting study marathons. Today, I'll share exactly how I did it. You'll learn how to study efficiently, retain more, and avoid burnout, all with simple, practical strategies you can start today. This isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter, using focused study blocks, active techniques, and habits that actually stick. Over time, I refined this approach into 5 actionable steps that anyone can follow: students, professionals, anyone trying to learn better. Time blocking with laser focus. The first secret is deceptively simple. Study in focused blocks of time. I like to call this laser focus sessions. Set aside 25 to 50 minutes for one subject. No phone, no social media, no multitasking. Then take a short 5 to 10-minute break. I used to think long study sessions were better, 3, 4, even 6 hours straight. But what I found was that my brain fatigued quickly. Focus dropped. I reread the same pages and still forgot most of it. Switching to shorter, intense blocks completely changed how I retained information. 2 hours a day, split into 4 focus sessions, became more effective than endless hours of distracted studying. Set a timer, and when it rings, step away completely. Your brain consolidates knowledge better during breaks. For example, during finals, I would spend 25 minutes on math formulas, take 5 minutes to stretch, then another 25 minutes on history notes. By the 4th session, I could review essays or problem sets without feeling drained. That rhythm built deep focus without burnout. Active recall, not passive reading. Next, we need to stop the cycle of passive reading. The second technique is active recall, forcing your brain to retrieve information instead of just rereading it. Passive reading feels productive because your eyes move over text, but your brain isn't really challenged. Active recall is asking yourself questions like, what's the main idea here? Or can I explain this in my own words? And trying to answer without looking at notes. I remember studying chemistry last semester. Instead of rereading the periodic table over and over, I would cover it and write all the elements from memory. At first, I got things wrong, but each attempt reinforced the memory. 2 hours of focused active recall replaced 6 hours of passive study, and I remembered far more. Even in history, after reading a chapter about World War II, I would close the book and summarize key events out loud or in a notebook. The effort to recall strengthened my memory far more than rereading ever could. The third technique is spaced repetition, a method backed by science. Instead of cramming, review information at increasing intervals. Yesterday's material today, last week's tomorrow, last month's next day. I used a simple schedule with flashcards or a notebook. The effect was amazing. Information moved from short-term to long-term memory, and I no longer forgot it the moment the exam started. When learning French vocabulary, I reviewed new words the next day, then 3 days later, then a week later. By the end of the month, I remembered nearly everything without spending hours memorizing each day. Spaced repetition is about timing, not volume. Step 4. Eliminate mental clutter. Even the best techniques fail if your environment is chaotic. A clear space equals a clear mind. I realized that 2 hours of focused study in a noisy, cluttered space was less effective than 30 minutes in a calm, organized area. Clear your desk, silence notifications, and have only the materials you need in front of you. I also started a 2-minute mindfulness exercise before each session, just a few breaths to reset focus. Those small moments made a huge difference in attention and retention. During my midterms, I moved to a quiet library corner with only a notebook, timer, and pen. Suddenly, my 25-minute sessions felt longer in output. I retained more, solved problems faster, and felt confident. The environment, though small, made a huge difference. Those mindfulness moments created a mental reset. 2 minutes of slow breathing before studying made me more grounded and ready to absorb information instead of rushing through it. Step 5. Review and reflect daily. Finally, end your study sessions with a quick reflection. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? What points are still confusing? What should I focus on tomorrow? I kept a small notebook for daily reflections. After each session, I jotted down 2 or 3 key insights. This not only reinforced learning, but also made progress visible. One evening, after 2 hours of focused study, I realized I had understood a math chapter one had struggled with for weeks. That small daily reflection transformed what felt like slow progress into real, tangible growth. Pitfalls and warnings. There are a few mistakes to avoid. First, don't multitask. 2 hours of distraction is worse than 30 minutes of laser focus. Second, take your breaks. Skipping breaks leads to fatigue and poor retention. Third, avoid passive cramming. Simply rereading notes without active recall or spaced repetition wastes time. And most importantly, consistency beats intensity. 2 focused hours daily beats 1 8-hour marathon once a week. 1. Time block with laser focus, short, distraction-free sessions. 2. Active recall. Force your brain to retrieve information. 3. Spaced repetition. Review material at increasing intervals. 4. Eliminate mental clutter. Clear space, clear mind. 5. Daily review and reflection. Track progress. Reinforce learning. 2 hours a day with these methods is more effective than endless hours of distracted study. It's not about working harder. It's about studying smarter. Here's your challenge. Pick one subject you're struggling with. Set aside 2 hours tomorrow. Split into focused sessions, apply active recall, and reflect afterward. Just start. I promise, if you do this consistently for a week, you'll notice better clarity, retention, and confidence. 2 hours a day is enough to transform your study results without burning out. If this video helped, like, subscribe, and comment which subject you'll try this method on. Start small, stay consistent, and watch yourself become a straight-A learner. Remember, it's not the hours, it's the focus, strategy, and habits you build. Start today.